Well, thank you very much, Maria. It's great to be here at the centre of Sydney. Parramatta, Rydalmere here, we are right in the middle of this metropolis. And everything that happens in Sydney happens right here in Parramatta, in the electorate of Parramatta. The things we make, the great service industries that we have, it's all here in Parramatta. So much of our economy is driven by the very things that happen right here in Parramatta. And, you know, it's great to also be joined today, not just by Maria, but of course Josh Frydenberg, the Treasurer, and Marise Payne, not just the Minister for Foreign Affairs, but the Minister for Women. Together with the Treasurer, we have formed an economic partnership that has ensured that at this election we can present a very clear choice. And this election is a choice. It's a choice between the responsible economic and financial management that has enabled Australia to be coming through this pandemic stronger than most of the advanced nations in this world, with unemployment down to 4%, with the biggest turnaround in our budget of over $100 billion just the last 12 months, the strongest recovery in some 70 years, maintaining our AAA credit rating, which puts downward pressure on cost of living, puts downward pressure when it comes to the pressures on interest rates, and ensures that we can go to the Australian people and be confident about the things we're offering them, because we have the economic plan, most importantly, to keep that strength in our economy into the future. And there's a choice and the alternative of a Labor Party that we know, and Australians know, can't manage money. That is unproven, that is untested, and we know does not have an economic plan that can ensure that we can continue to emerge strongly from this pandemic. Australians have worked very hard to come out of this pandemic. Businesses like this, plants like this, small businesses, large businesses, cafes, gas plants, resources industry, they've all worked incredibly hard to take us through this pandemic. And that just fills me with confidence about what's ahead for us in the economy. We've worked hard to get to the point where we can really take advantage of the economic opportunities that this country now has in front of us. It's the biggest economic opportunity since the post-war era, and we're well positioned to take advantage of that with our economic plan. And that's why today we can commit to a 1.3 million jobs target pledge over the next 5 years. You know, over the course of this pandemic, we've not only ensured that we have 375,000 more jobs than at the start of the pandemic, but through important measures like JobKeeper, which the Treasurer and I, night after night, together with the Finance Minister at the time, ensured, working with officials, that we got that right. And that could be the right intervention at the right time. We knew when to start it, we knew when to stop it, and all the other measures we put in place has set Australia up, saved 700,000 jobs. And so businesses like this and so many around the country can be looking forward with confidence. You know, Australia is the 13th largest economy in the world. It is a $2.1 trillion economy. That's right, 12 zeros. 2.1 trillion economy. The budget is some $625 billion in expenditure. The health budget alone is some $105 billion. The social security budget is over $220 billion. Our defence budget, including the capital works that we're doing to rebuild our defence forces, almost $49 billion. And then Medicare, over $30 billion. These are the big things that Australia has to deliver through a strong economy. And we as a government have been able to guarantee those essential services because we've been able to continue to strengthen the budget even in these most difficult times. And the key way we've been able to do that is we've been able to get people off welfare and we've been able to get them into work. You want to know how to balance a budget? You get people off welfare where they're actually receiving benefits, and you turn them into workers where they pay taxes. And under our government, only paying as much as is necessary and ensuring they can keep as much of what they earn as they possibly can. That's what keeps our economy strong. Now, through all of that, I have had a strong partner in this economic partnership that has been delivering this strong economy. And it is a team that I lead, and Marise is here and has done an outstanding job just having returned from the NATO Foreign Ministers meeting, ensuring that Australia is well positioned to be dealing with the global international security issues. I lead a very strong team but I'm particularly proud of my economic team, and I'm very proud of my good mate and treasurer, who has now delivered his 4th budget, and he knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to managing a strong economy. Josh.
Well, thank you very much, Prime Minister. Thank you, Maria, for the invitation to be here, and it's great to be here with Marise Payne. As the Prime Minister said, Australia has come so far in just the last couple of years. We were literally staring into the economic abyss. Treasury thought at the height of the pandemic that the unemployment rate in Australia could reach as high as 15%. And today we have an unemployment rate at just 4%, the equal lowest in 48 years. Female unemployment today is at its lowest level since 1974. And in the budget, we printed an unemployment number with a 3 in front of it. And we expect to see unemployment 3.75% by the September quarter, which would be the lowest level in 50 years. If you think this is luck, you are wrong. It's the product of an economic plan that is working. But the budget laid out the next stage in our economic plan, a plan which will help create 1.3 million new jobs over the next 5 years. An economic plan that's investing in skills. Already we're seeing 220,000 Australians in a trade apprenticeship, the highest on record, and we're providing $5,000 payments to apprentices and up to $15,000 payments to employers who take them on. We're investing in small businesses because we know that they're the backbone of our economy, with a 120% tax deduction for small businesses that either reskill their workers or go and invest in new technology, hardware and software. We're investing in the new frontiers of economic growth in our regions with a $21 billion package that will support our regions, whether it's telecommunications infrastructure, water infrastructure, transport infrastructure and energy infrastructure, as well as getting more doctors into our regions. We're backing manufacturing, and this is something the Prime Minister has led so strongly on. It's not only creating jobs in manufacturing, but it's also ensuring that we have supply chains that are resilient in the face of greater geopolitical risk. And in our manufacturing plan, everything from a new mRNA facility in Victoria, the first in the Southern Hemisphere, to ensuring that across a whole range of sectors we're seeing more people working in manufacturing. That's our economic plan. Backing small businesses, investing in skills, investing in our regions, backing manufacturing, and of course energy, as well as being a key driver of economic growth, getting down the cost of energy while also ensuring we have affordable and reliable energy. Now, this election, as the Prime Minister has rightly made very clear, is a choice. It's a choice between a Liberal and National coalition led by Scott Morrison and a Labor and Green coalition. And yesterday, Australians were reminded by Anthony Albanese of why he's out of his depth. On budget night, I said very clearly the unemployment rate was its equal lowest in 48 years at 4%. He simply was not listening, or maybe he didn't want to know. The unemployment rate under Labor was 5.7%. Under us, it's 4%. And based on the budget, we're hoping to put a 3 in front of it before the end of the year.
Prime Minister. Thanks, PM. And it's great that the Prime Minister welcomed everybody to the centre of Sydney, here in Parramatta, because that is absolutely where I have focused my work over more than 2 decades now. And it's an absolute pleasure to be working with Maria Kovacic in her campaign to win the seat of Parramatta for the Coalition, to make sure that she is able to deliver for the people of Parramatta and, importantly, for our communities right across this great city of Western Sydney. This is one of the most diverse communities in Australia. You walk outside the Ream factory, up the street to Rydalmere, down into Parramatta itself, and you will see Australia's diversity writ large. It has a world-leading university in Western Sydney University, just up on Victoria Road, producing students who are overwhelmingly, for so many of them, the first in their family ever to go to university. And Western Sydney University makes that possible. I'm immensely proud to work here and to be part of this community. Here at Ream, we've met people on the factory floor today, again, who've come from all over the world to work in this part of Australia and to live in this part of Australia. And whether it's Ream, or whether it's the small businesses up and down Church Street who've taken advantage over the years of our instant asset write-offs, the sorts of supports that the Treasurer has referred to, I can literally pick them off the streets as you go around town. They know that our commitment to driving the strongest possible economy is absolute. It's what has given us, in large part, a women's workforce participation rate of 62.4%. Of the lowest women's unemployment rate at 3.8% since 1974. And we have more work to do, but the gender pay gap has narrowed to 13.8%. We were at 13.4% in November of 2020. More to do there, but the focus that we have on engaging women in STEM, ensuring they have paths into higher paid roles and trades, is very much part of our absolute focus on women's economic security, on women's leadership and, of course, on women's safety. Can I finally say there are extremely concerning reports out of Ukraine this morning in relation to the use of chemical weapons by Russia. If they are confirmed, that will be a further wholesale breach of international law, a further indication of President Putin and Russia's absolute violation of every single value and every single rules-based aspect of the rules-based global order, which has stood us in such good stead for so many decades now. Australia will be working with our counterparts to determine the veracity of these reports, and we'll have more to say on that later.